the DVD workouts online, iPod. There's an application called Fitness Class, which has free workouts or $1.99 to rent things for a month. Really easy. Fitstudio.com is another free workout site. It's powered by Sears. I have 6 10-minute free workouts you can download on there. And you don't really need any special equipment for them. Believe it or not, how many of you have a cleaning lady? Don't be embarrassed. I had to teach my kids how to do the shower because I had a cleaning lady for so long when I was a young mom, because I thought, God, I can go train somebody for an hour and make $100, and then the cleaning lady will come for 4 hours for that $100. I'd rather just spend an hour training and be happy. So I had a cleaning lady. But then when my son went away to college and I visited his room, I'm like, don't you know how to clean the shower? Because they had a house. He goes and cleans the bathroom. I'm like, ew, gross. I've realized that because I had a cleaning lady, they never learned. So you still have to teach them. So washing the floor is a really good workout. But you're probably thinking of getting on your hands and knees and washing the floor. Just put 2 wet rags and bare feet and wash the floor. Throw on some music. And at the end, just wipe it down with a Swiffer. It's kind of fun stuff. And it's such a great inner-outer thigh workout, you might be amazed at it. Paper plates work really well on carpet, so you don't need a lot of high-cost equipment. They work just like slide decks. Just put them down on the floor, push out, push in, do jumping jacks. Just keep your feet on the floor. You don't want to jump off the plate and then miss the plate and slide like a banana. And then vacuuming. I think one thing we don't think about when we're vacuuming, even though it's active exercise, is we usually only use one arm. Switch arms, it's really crazy. It feels so ridiculous. You're like, I'm uncoordinated. I can't do this. But that push and pull is just as important for your left side of the body as it is the right or dominant side. And those are simple things you can do. If you put on your little activity tracker, your Fitbit, your Jawbone, your Nike Fuel Band, your Moto Active, I mean, there are so many things you can go out there and find, or even your $10 pedometer, you'll see that you're getting those points in, and that 10,000 steps isn't so hard to achieve. So, this is what you can do at work. So many exercises you can do in a chair. So let's try a few of those right now. Figured this is easy. Put your purse on your lap. Oh, I have one. And you won't want to trade purses. But you don't know what I have inside. Lift your purse up over your head. Okay, yeah, if you have a heavy one, it's good. Put it back down. Now when you lift your purse up over your head, think about your belly button and see if anything happens, okay? Did you suck in that time? Yeah. Now try and lean to the right. Oh, obliques, back to center. Even just as simple, take it down to the side. Get your handles. This is gonna be a hard one for you, not you and I have hard. Have you lift it up. Hold it out there. You can use the bicep, but if you do it straight or turn it, now you use those forearms. They can really get weak from using the computer, and your shoulders. You could cut up those shoulders in 2 weeks with this little purse here. Just hold it out there for a minute. I better try the other side. Palm up. And palm. Yeah. Look at this front row figured it out. They did all like side. They must have been all the cheerleaders to figure out how to get that. And lower. And then there's a lot of great things facing forward. Just lift your own butt off the chair and lean forward. Like you've all seen dips. You can do these in the park and stuff. But if you lift it up higher, why are we filming when we're doing these things? Can you? Couldn't even swing it. Now we're doing Zumba in our chair. Right. Lift one leg. Lift that leg up. Now it's working. You know, like if you're on a conference call and you have it on speakerphone, you could be working out the whole time. What's going on in there? I'm fine, I'm listening in. They'll think something else is going on, but it's kind of fun. But there are so many things that you can do at your desk. If you have wheelie chairs, do wheelie chair races where you sit in the chair, but you have to do your legs this way. Guarantee do it against a man, their hamstring will cramp up. We have so much better hamstrings than men. So if you ever want to like try that one's a lot of fun too. But so many things. And of course, you know, I can tell you bring a ball to work for your chair, What's happened over the years where you don't see them in the office is people have fallen off and HR said no. So make sure you get clearance before bringing a ball to work. It's a great thing to have at home. It's just that it rolls out of the way when sometimes you go to sit down, and that's where people have gotten hurt. Or they've fallen off the ball, which you all know how that feels. So just a lot of great different ideas on how to stretch, how to make your body move. You can do those in your own kitchen as well. Some of these I don't recommend most of these in the grocery store though. Just keep those simple push, pull, one leg, close your eyes. So the other fun thing is that you can take your activity level and do things that are completely different. So in an attempt to have a lot of fun, I went and did trapeze classes for a while. That was the big move. It only took 2 weeks to get there. Isn't that fun? I was so sore right here, right under here. Like the next day, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta keep doing this because it hurts. It's a crazy mentality. But that's how I know that I wasn't working all those muscles. And it felt good even though it hurt. It's when it doesn't feel good for more than 2 or 3 days that it's an issue. Then you probably should see somebody like a physical therapist just to get a second opinion. But, you know, I don't want to do that again, pause that. But, you know, take a hike, go on a walk. Do things that are in your own neighborhood that maybe you haven't thought about. It's really interesting that, and especially I'm sure in Pittsburgh, it's similar to Chicago. I mean, we have stand-up paddle, we have kayaking down the river, we have the divvy bikes now. I mean, there are so many things that you can do aside from just taking a walk, not that that's not a great experience. And if you go to places like in your own city that maybe you haven't been to in a while, that's when it really kind of gets fun. And again, that's that activity or exercise. And then get out there and move together, whether that's with girlfriends, whether that's with your kids, whether that's with your spouse, whether that's with a relationship. There are things you can do together. Now, how many of you like to walk by yourself with headsets? Anyone? How many of you would rather walk with a girlfriend? I am such a better talker when I'm walking. And that breath exchange really gets there, which is important. So, what else can make a difference? Well, let's talk about some of those tracking things. Inexpensive, $10, you can find a pretty simple pedometer. And you don't have to wear them on your belt if that feels dorky, like I had someone tell me, like, but I don't want it, and I have on a dress. Put it on your shoe, on your boot, on the inside of your boot, especially as we're moving into this lovely fall weather. It's a great place to kind of put that, and it still will track. And eat more fish. I think this is probably another thing that we can all do to try and live a little bit healthier, especially fast food. People are like, fast food. My definition of fast food is if it was fast when it was alive. So when you think about salmon, they swim upstream. They do resistance training their whole life. That's why salmon is so good for you. And if you think of the cow versus the chicken, which one's harder to catch? So if you think of the faster it was when it was alive, the lower in cholesterol, the leaner it will be for you when you eat it when it's dead, unless you're a vegetarian, which is the beans don't move, I don't know. They just make you move. So these are the kind of things to think about. And the omega-3s are what are really important, not just for brain health, but for cardiovascular vessel health. And then the last thing is, strip away the excuses, get naked. Did you get all my cards for me? Yeah. Oh, good, because you're going to be picking the winner, too. They're going to point at you, not me. I think you all should have in your bag, too, I just want to point out, a fitness DVD from me. Did you all get that? Yes. So let me borrow that just for a second. So there were 3 types of DVDs given out, but they all have one thing in common. They all have a 20-minute Pilates workout, a 20-minute yoga workout, and a 20-minute flexibility workout that if you don't have any equipment but a big broom handle or a dowel, it works awesome. Then there's also shoulder out, there's upper body pain, so for this joint, or this joint, lower body pain, this joint, and this joint, or neck and back pain. So those are the 3 that I sent over to Bonda so that everyone could get one. I think what we forget is that it doesn't, because we're getting older doesn't mean that we have to feel stiff and achy in the morning or succumb to arthritis. I know, look, I can't even see anymore. I've got one contact in. But the reason that changes for us is because up until the age of about 27, we have human growth hormone that makes our muscles stay toned. When you see somebody and you're like, God, they're really cut, they're really in shape, they're really toned, and you know that they work out a lot, working out puts energy into that muscle so that it stays firm. It used to be up until about your mid-20s, you didn't have to do anything. That's why I don't know, all these kids are exercising. They could just look good by themselves without doing anything, except it's not a good habit. But then when we get into our 30s and that starts to decrease, unless we put that energy back into the muscle consistently, we start to lose muscle mass. And the loss in muscle is what changes the skeletal structure to collapse on itself.
The federal health insurance marketplace is now open. That means you're free to shop for the health plan that's right for you. UPMC Health Plan has some of the most affordable plans on the marketplace. And they all give you full in-network access to UPMC, plus other doctors and hospitals in your community. Visit upmchealthplan.com or call 1-855-297-UPMC to learn why so many people have chosen UPMC Health Plan. Enroll today.
Which that's where we get the arthritis. Is there anyone in here with pants on who, with their legs straight, cannot touch their toes? You know, like this, like go down and touch their toes. Anyone here who cannot put their hands on? Come on up, you win, yay! Okay, can we take your shoes off though?
Oh, fine. Sure.
Okay. Okay, so she can't touch, for those of you who can't see. Okay, so stand up. I'm gonna have you hold onto this chair, like this, and we are gonna create magic in this room, like you can't believe. So legs straight, push this leg back into my hand.
Push it back?
Yeah, like a ballerina. Push that leg back. Come on, as hard as you can. And you're gonna do that for 10 seconds while I talk. So, what most people don't realize is that flexibility has nothing to do with stretching. I need to stretch because I need to be more flexible. That is not what flexibility is about. And every pro sports coach knows this. It's about muscle balance and the energy that's in that muscle to give feedback to the brain to say that I can move to a certain position. Great job. Can you do the other leg? Is she smiling or is she gritting her teeth? Push hard. Push, push, push. So the real issue here, when we talk about that aging and the arthritis, is the muscle breakdown and the lack of control to keep the skeleton intact. Push a little bit harder, Jill. This one you're a little weaker on, I can tell. Keep your hips square. Good. We're gonna go about 10 more seconds. And just something as simple as a 30-second muscle contraction can change what your body will allow. And relax. Okay, now don't prove me wrong. Touch your toes. See if you go further. Yay!
Okay, that works.
Put your shoes on. Very nice. The real point here is that if you keep your muscles energized with muscle contractions going into it, your body will not have arthritis. You'll be able to move fluidly. Some ideas, we've already talked about these. Place your calls, go out and play, have fun. But really the key to walk away from is daily activity is important. We know that working out 3 1-hour time slots in a week is not going to produce the same benefits as doing 30 minutes of moderate activity 5 days a week. Which is kind of interesting because you think like, well, I went to the gym for 2 hours today, I'm good done for the week. But that's really not the case. What we found in the cardio study from Northwestern is that when you did moderate activity, 30 minutes, 7 days a week, you lived 5 years longer than if you didn't. And that's with a better quality of life. So being active every day is important, and I really want you to try and find it throughout your lives. Sneaking it in. It doesn't have to be a workout in the gym with the bag. It can be in your own house. It can be before you go to work. In my book, Naked Fitness, I helped a gentleman lose 100 pounds in 90 days. I moved in with him for 4 days a week, and then I'd be home for 2 days and kept that schedule of flying back and forth to Cincinnati. And he then lost another 50 pounds on his own. So it wasn't that he just lost the weight with me. And 100 pounds is a lot to lose in 3 months. But the key was he did 2 hours of walking a day. 430-pound man walking on a treadmill at 3.1 miles per hour will burn around 900 calories an hour. 160-pound woman's only going to burn around 300. So you see where the calories started coming off. But in order to do that, like he didn't have 2 hours to just walk on a treadmill. Basically his attention span would have given up. But he did 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night, and 10 minutes before and after each meal. And that added up to 2 hours. And it became easy for him. And I think that's how we have to start thinking about getting active. 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after. And sitting down for that meal and not running out the door and taking it with us. We've become so taxed by multitasking and texting that we're no longer really living to who we can really be. We're just trying to do too much. You know that when you go on vacation, if you still have your cell phone with and you're checking it. God, I've had people take it away from me and I get a little anxious, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, thank you for doing that. And that's what's really important. I think some other ideas, we said the 10 minutes a day. If you're too tired after work, I know a lot of times I am. Sometimes that re-energizes me, and sometimes I just wish I would have done it in the morning. Don't knock yourself out if you don't get it in. It's always good to start every day fresh. Don't leave that negative feeling with you. And if you can't afford a fitness center, use your own body for weight. Oh, so we have a game. All right, which has more calories, the English muffin or the bagel? Bagel. Perfect. Which is a better breakfast, a bowl of Cheerios or a stack of pancakes? Why? And it has milk for protein. There's no protein in those pancakes. It's the milk that made it better. How about this? 2 eggs, tomatoes, bacon, toast, or a bowl of cereal with milk? Perfect. There was a study that recently was out. It was only 61 people, so there's still some controversy with the RD world. They did a 1,400 calorie diet for 3 months. They did not change the exercise. One group had 700 calories for breakfast, 400 for lunch, and 300 at dinner, and the other group did the opposite, 300, 400, 700. They had a 10-pound difference in weight loss average with the group that had the bigger breakfast. Something to think about. And 3 eggs, 2 slices of bacon is about 28 grams of protein. You need 80 to 100 in a day, and under 300 calories. Something to think about. Okay. 5 ways to sneak in more exercise. Hand up. Say it again.
At your desk.
At your desk.
Clean your house.
Clean your house. And one more.
Turn the music on.
Turn the music on. Yeah, we got in trouble for that one. Oh, well. Okay, this is a great question. How do you know when you're working moderately? So if you can feel your heart beating faster than what it normally is, then you're working moderately. If you're out of breath and you're really doing that, then you're working vigorously. And that's why you don't have to have a heart rate monitor or pedometer. But it's, like when you sat down, you felt your heart beating right after we did that little bit of dance thing. And if we would have kept going, it would have become a more vigorous exercise because we were continuing that process to really bump it up. But that song was only about 120 beats per minute. And whatever the beats per minute the song is, this is something so crazy from aerobics, but that's usually where your heart rate goes to, whatever the beats per minute is. So when you have music that's 144 to 153, that's where the heart rates get up higher. It's not just the exercise, it's actually the music that helps you regulate your heart, which is why classical music helps you lower your blood pressure and calm down. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for joining me this week for this episode of Hot for Your Health. You are a powerful force in your own health, and I'm excited that you took the time this Thursday to learn more from our nation's authorities in health. I hope that you subscribe so that you don't miss one single episode. Join us next week for Hot for Your Health, and for more information, find it at womenshealthconversations.com.